3, 2, 1. Welcome to another lovely day here in the overworld. So we were working last episode on crafting all the materials we need to reach the moon. We did manage to get our NASA workbench. We all made ITNT and gelled toluene. We got the implosion compressor. And I think we have the rest of the materials here that we're going to need. We actually ended up filling 2 chests worth of stuff here. So there is a few more items on our pre-departure checklist we must make sure that we have. The first thing I want to make sure that we have is a decent power source up there. We're going to be running a few machines, but rather than taking up any generators or anything, we're going to rely on some batteries. These energy crystals can hold 1 million EU each. Wait, hold on a second, our machines are going to be LV. Can we put this in the battery buffer slot on the LV machines and not have this explode? I'm so going to regret this. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay. We need different batteries then. We will also need to gather some leaves to collect oxygen. And no, we're not going to leave the trunks. We'll chop them down. So I did manage to fix the visual prospecting that we couldn't get to work last episode. This is going to allow us to find different fluids on the moon, primarily the salt water, which we can use for chlorine. Right now I have one of them set up in the overworld here to give us some more raw oil, which we're going to use to boost our production of cetane boosted diesel, which is how we're going to power the rocket to get us to the moon. That will probably take a few minutes to process. So why exactly are we going to the moon? Well, there's several different things we want to achieve while we're there. The most important reason is to get rutile and therefore titanium, which is our gate into the EV age. But we can also pick up some other ore veins like bauxite, ilmenite and neodymium while we're there. So to help us with the ore collection, we've got our 2 miners. The only other thing I can think of that we need is a source of light. We do have our night vision available, but torches don't work, and there's going to be a few dungeons we need to tackle while we're there. We'll use these flat lamps instead. Oh, I almost forgot, we should actually make sure to fill our oxygen tanks here. We will need some oxygen before we can set up our oxygen collection system on the moon. So we use this to fill the oxygen tanks. Oh, I think we need power in this one as well. Yeah, there we go, okay. We have 2 slots available to wear these oxygen tanks, and the other 2 we keep as backups. We can also slot in the frequency module to be able to hear in space, the parachute, and the oxygen gear. Oh, and the oxygen mask as well. We should have that crafted. We're ready for the moon. We just have to pack up everything we have here in one compressed chest. Oh, and we will also need one more assembly machine to be able to print off the book for seismic prospecting. Now I think we're ready. We need a launch site though. Well, I really don't know where we should place our launch site, so for now we're going to place it just out here, a couple of 100 blocks away from the base. Again, this does produce some pollution when we launch the rocket, but I think we're prepared as we can be. I charged all the armor, I've been through our departure checklist again. There's nothing really left to do, but wait until nighttime. The day-night cycle on the moon lasts 4 overworld days. So 4 days and 4 nights is the cycle on the moon. So it's best to go when the moon is at its brightest. That way we don't land in pitch dark and there hopefully shouldn't be too many mobs around us. But we do have to fuel our rocket here, so we have the fuel loader. We give this some cetane boosted diesel. Alright, 5 cells of cetane boosted diesel should fill us to full. Let's check where the moon's at. Oh, it's almost full moon. Okay, this is perfect. Let's go before there's too many mobs as well. We got clear skies, I think this is a perfect time for flying. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Y level 600? We're close, we're close. Oh, it is nighttime here though. Oh no, did I miscalculate? Uh oh. Oh, that's not good. Well, at least we have oxygen here, but there are a lot of mobs. Okay, we need some safety here. Yep, things are about to get very dangerous. I'm glad we have the night vision. Okay, let's dig a hole. Let's dig a hole. This is not good. This is not good at all. This wasn't part of the plan. And they're all evolved mobs as well, so they're going to be extra dangerous. Yeah, all of these guys are extra tanky. Well, this wasn't part of the plan, but let's see if we can get our oxygen set up. So I think all we need for this is our oxygen collector. We give this thing some power and it should start collecting us oxygen here. Put this into the bubble distributor and this should create a force field of oxygen. We'll also need a battery for this one as well. Okay, this looks like it uses 160 per second, and we're generating only 76. Okay, so we need more leaves around this thing. Generating 162. Okay, so we are net positive on oxygen. So long as we have our batteries here to power these things. You can see the force field here, so when we're in this, we don't consume any oxygen from our internal tanks. So now that we have a stable supply of oxygen, let's see if we can prospect out this area to see what sort of ores and fluids we can find around here. So we'll need the 3 LV machines, the scanner, the printer, the assembling machine. Activate our seismic prospector. Alright, so now we scan the data stick. Print off the results with some squid ink and paper. And this is going to go into the assembler with some refined glue. And also some leather. Awesome, this gives us our prospection data. We found 4 new ore veins and 9 new oil fields. Let's see what we got here. Oh, quite a lot of helium. But most importantly, we did get our salt water here. This is what we're after. As for the ore veins, we got copper, bauxite, quartzite, and galena. These 3 we can find in the overworld, but the bauxite here is what we're after. Well, since we got our salt water, let's set up our oil drilling rig. All the materials should be in this chest, if I didn't miss anything. And it looks like the majority of it is up in this chunk here. I don't know exactly how it splits it up, but I'm assuming this is the amounts here. So we're going to go over to the next chunk over here and build it this way. If I remember the structure, it's something like this. No, we're out of casings, this is not right. I think maybe we don't have the corners here. Aha, multi-block has formed. Okay, we need to perform the maintenance. I did remember the toolbox, and we have solder and alloy wire. Okay, are you happy? I think it is. Okay, we need to give this mining pipe. We'll need a combustion generator. Some cetane for fuel, and a super tank for the outputs. Soft mallet to turn it on. Aha, we're running. Okay, green lights. That's a good sign. Ah, there we go. We're getting salt water. Okay, nice. Let's leave this thing, and we'll go and find some of the ore. This looks like the quartzite vein. Not really interested in this specifically. Oh, and we got a visitor here. I almost forgot about the lighting. One shot. And he's got a friend as well. Hey. Okay, he's gone. Yeah, let's make sure we light this place up. Alright, and we got miner number 1 placed on this aluminium and bauxite vein. This is giving us pure aluminium. And if we process this, we get bauxite. And bauxite we can electrolyze into rutile, and this is how we process into titanium. Eventually. Meteoric iron. Huh. I'm not sure what this is used for. I think it maybe only comes in the small piles right now, but we'll definitely keep an eye out for it. And you can see in the top left there that our oxygen supply is getting quite low. Our personal oxygen supply whenever we're outside the bubble. We did bring some backup tanks here though. Alright, we are a couple of chunks out from where our base is. We got another scan of the area. Let's go print this thing off, see what we got. This really takes a long time to print. I mean, what year are we in here? But yeah, we brought a couple of extra combustion generators, so we can actually power the batteries with this. I think we have a battery buffer as well. Yeah, I did bring a battery buffer along. So basically, as long as we have cetane, we have quite a few stacks of cells here. As long as we have cetane, we're going to have oxygen because we can charge the batteries. 6 new ore veins this time. More copper, more bauxite, more galena. Not really what we're after, to be honest. And more helium. That's no good. Let's see what we got in the opposite directions. I'd really like to find one of these bastnasite ores. And the ilmenite. Ah, we got a cave over here. And company. Oh, that what a good dodge. That was a really good dodge. That wasn't meant to happen. You know, one thing I forgot to do is actually bring the fuel loader. Do we still have fuel in the rocket? Okay, we do. Looks like we got some company up here. Look at these guys. An alien villager. Can you trade with me? No. Okay, interesting place. That's a that's a very efficient farm right there. And they've got half houses. I don't really know what happened here. They are very alien indeed. Oh, we got another bauxite vein here and a creeper. Goodbye. Oh, there's 2 of them. Looks like we also got a Thaumcraft node here as well. I didn't know they appeared up here. Interesting. So now that things were a bit safer, I did go and prospect a little bit further out from our base. We actually managed to find the ilmenite and chromite vein, which is where the miner currently is, and we also found this wolfenite and powellite vein, which I just decided to collect manually. And I think one of the final things we want to be doing here on the moon, other than collecting the ores and resources, is to find the tier 2 rocket schematic, which is located in one of the moon dungeons. Alright, here we go, let's do this. Instantly greeted by infernal mobs. These guys are no match for this crossbow. There should be a boss room at the end of this dungeon as well. Our oxygen supplies are looking okay. More skeletons. Let's meet the skeletal boss. Okay, we got him. That was easy. Did we get the key? Yes, tier 1 dungeon key. Okay, let's see if we got the rocket schematic. Let's see, this looks like mostly junk, to be honest. A mundane ring isn't too bad from Thaumcraft. And we got the moon buggy schematic, actually. Let's make sure we pick up the quest for the moon dungeon bricks while we're here. And I'm not really interested in the moon buggy, to be honest, so we're just going to craft this to the tier 2 rocket. That completes our quest, and I think we're done here. We just have to collect the rest of the resources, and we'll head back to base, I think. Actually, we may need to check our supplies of meteoric iron, since that is used for the tier 2 rocket. I want to make sure we have that before we leave. Yeah, the quest here calls for around a stack of meteoric iron. We can find it in the ore form, and we can also find it in these fallen meteors. Aha, quest complete. So with the completion of the meteoric iron quest, I think it's time that we pack up all of our things and we get out of here. I don't think we're going to leave anything behind here. We'll grab the oxygen equipment. We can use that on other planets. Well, I would call that a very successful trip to the moon. Let's head back to somewhere a little bit more friendly. Aha, we made it. In our parachute. Is that our rocket up there? Oh, we are going to get a welcome surprise as well. Yep. Oh, that's not good. Oh, no. Wow. Look at that for a warm welcome. Well, I guess this is not really that much more friendly than the moon. We'll come back for the rocket. Okay, we're safe. And I have just been organising all the things we got from the moon. We have just over a tank of salt water. And also just over 1 compressed chest full of ores and moon rock. Some other goodies mixed in there as well. So if we take a look at our quest book here, the next quest on the right hand side is to collect some rutile for titanium. There are several different blast furnace recipes for this thing, but the only dust we have access to at the moment is magnesium, and we'll also need something called titanium tetrachloride. And to get tetrachloride we need the chlorine, which comes from our salt water, so I think this is going to be our first step. To turn salt water into chlorine we need a bunch of electrolyzers, and this is 36 seconds per recipe. And I don't think there's anything else really we want to do with the salt water. Pretty much all of it is going to go to chlorine. So what I would like to do is actually set up a bunch of electrolyzers, and maybe centrifuges while we're at it as well. Oh, we already have one here. A lot of these machines in here we no longer need. So I think we'll just disassemble them and get the parts back for the machines that we actually need, which is more electrolyzers. I love this mechanic, by the way. It's so good. Actually, now that we're back, let's check our supply of fuel, which is non-existent. That's not good. Yep, we are out of oil sands, we're out of oil. Okay, we have to address this. We're going to need some power to run these electrolyzers. I wonder how our overworld pump here is doing. Oh, we're out of fuel. Oh no, that's not good either. No fuel to make fuel. Okay, first thing we're going to do here is conserve power. There's not really any reason to run this distillation tower 100% of the time. So this is distilling our fermented biomass, and we had no way to turn this off before. So I added on this redstone control, which reads the amount of acetic acid we're getting. If it's below 10,000, then it will turn the distillation tower on. And the acetic acid is what we get the least of out of this distillation tower. We already have way more than we can use right now, especially for things like ethanol. And then yeah, as usual, we just have the machine controller down there, enabled with the redstone signal. And we'll do a similar thing on this pyrolyze oven as well. We don't really need to buffer that much fermented biomass here. In fact, we're going to take our super tank back, and we'll swap this out with a ultra low voltage fluid tank. 30,000. Enable with redstone, and then just run a line all the way over to the tank here. Cool, so that means that we should no longer be wasting power. I don't think there's anything else we have to add redstone to at the moment. To get more power back, we will take some of our cetane out of some of these generators here. I suppose we'll have a decent amount backed up in this fuel line. All of these pipes are probably going to be full, up to a certain point anyway. And we'll use the cetane to power this drilling rig again, to get us more oil, and then that will hopefully be processed through there. We should have a big enough buffer to get this kick-started again. Yeah, we're making raw oil. Okay, I'm going to set up the second one here as well. And I forgot the maintenance hatch, great. I think we got everything else though. At least we didn't leave anything on the moon, right? Alright, so I've been doing some crafting here, and we now have this new setup for some centrifuges and some electrolyzers. The setup here is actually very simple. We just have some chests for inputs, same on both sides, and then we have some super tanks here to store the fluid outputs, and also this compressed chest for the item outputs. So this was mainly set up to process all of our salt water, which is in these two super tanks here. They have a pump on the side of the electrolyzers to import. This also requires some empty cells, which is grabbed from the chest. Although as you can see here, it isn't running. We still haven't fixed our power issue. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, the same on the other side. Basically, we just have some advanced centrifuges, which also give some liquid outputs. I just wanted an easy way to store the outputs of these things, rather than swapping the tanks on the centrifuge we had over there. So right now we only have the chlorine that's filtered, but there is many different fluids that we can get on the output of these two machines, like fluorine, oxygen, hydrogen. I think there's a few others as well. But yeah, back here we just have some combustion generators to power all of the machines, and we're using conduits actually to insert and extract from everything. We also got the fuel lines here, which are currently empty. This is actually a really big problem. However, I did also start to throw some of the ores that we got from the moon, i.e. this bauxite, through the macerator. This is going to give us the crushed bauxite, which ideally we want to send through an ore washing plant, but we don't have an ore washing plant. So some of it I've just started putting through this thermal centrifuge, which I think is an 11% chance for some rutile. And rutile is the other side of this titanium recipe. We have to mix this in an HV chemical reactor with some carbon and the chlorine that we're going to get from the electrolyzers over there. And this also gives us the centrifuged bauxite, which we can actually pulverize again for a chance at some gallium. And gallium is going to be nice. We were kind of running low on that thing, and we do use it for our SMDs and some of the other circuit components like the wafers. But yeah, as for this fuel, I really don't know what to do about this, to be honest. I mean, if we check the pipes again, it's empty all the way until somewhere around here. Oh wow, is it really this far down? Yeah, right here is where the pipe is full. So it basically has to catch up to all of this buffer. I mean, it's going to take hours and hours, if it even does. I'm not even sure if we're net positive on fuel anymore. There's stuff on this line here, but yeah, there's not a lot being used other than the macerator, which I think is this pipe right here. I did just collect the output of the pump that we set up, and that is in this super tank, currently being distilled. So I mean, I guess we'll give it a few hours and see if it catches up any. If not, we definitely have to address that thing. But let's look at the next part of this titanium. So we need to collect this titanium tetrachloride, which means another HV chemical reactor. We could do it in a large chemical... Nah, there's not much point in that, is there? No. We'll do the single block one. And we still have some HV circuits, so I think I'm going to build machines dedicated to titanium processing. I don't think that's such a bad idea. We do need a lot of titanium. So actually for the setup we'll need 2 chemical reactors of HV. I'm not sure how our resources are looking, to be honest. Oh, we're so short on everything. We need applied energistics really badly. I guess if we look on the bright side, I am starting to remember all the recipes for basically all of the machines by now. Okay, there's 2 chemical reactors. We'll also need some combustion generators to power these things, which are still mighty expensive, taking 2 motors each and 2 pistons each. Yeah, we don't quite have enough electrum. We're always out of electrum. Oh, we have 300 here. Nice. Alright, we managed to get enough for the generators here, and I think what we're going to do for this setup, since we need a blast furnace, we are also going to dedicate a blast furnace for titanium. Not the bricked blast furnaces though, these things really have to go, and they're kind of in the way as well, so goodbye. Yeah, basically we want to keep all the pollution over this side of the base. So then what we're going to do is put the... I think the one with the canthal coils will go here. We can actually run this recipe with canthal coils, can't we? Yeah, we need 2140 and canthal is 2701. So yeah, we'll keep the nichrome one here, and I think there's actually some more nichrome in here waiting to be smelted. Yeah, there's a few stacks of nichrome, so I think we're actually going to build another blast furnace, but not today because we don't have to. We don't have the fuel to run this stuff. But yeah, this one is going to be moved over there. Something a little bit like this. Okay, so over here we're going to have some chemical reactors. Let's do it out of block actually. So we want our double chemical reactor here. The first one is going to make titanium tetrachloride with carbon and rutile, as well as the chlorine. So I think we have a 1x2 drawer, one for rutile, one for carbon. Actually, I don't like this. Let's move this over a block. Yeah, and super tank on the bottom for chlorine, and a conveyor on the side to import from the drawer. We have some carbon being produced over here. Actually, a full drawer of carbon over here. Let's take some of this. And some rutile should be on the output of this thermal centrifuge. Only 27, so I think we're going to have to upgrade the processing on this stuff. Alright, so that is the titanium tetrachloride taken care of. That goes straight into the input hatch of the blast furnace. We will extract this on brown. Insert brown on the input hatch. Then, the reason we have the second chemical reactor here is for the output of this hot titanium recipe. So as well as the hot ingot, we also get magnesium chloride dust back, which we can process with a bit of sodium. And this gives us 3/4 of our chlorine back, as well as the magnesium back. So it's absolutely worthwhile to have this second chemical reactor here to reprocess some of the inputs. We just have to wire it all up the correct way, but with conduits it shouldn't be too bad. And it's going to look something like this. I hope I didn't mess up any of the inputs. All we have to do now is give this thing some power. Easy, right? Well, not for us really. We do have some cetane that we can use. We'll split this amongst all of these things until we get the wires in place. Alright, we split up the fuel. These things should turn on. Hopefully. You have fuel. Did we get the first step wrong? Maybe it's just pointing the wrong way. Aha! Nice. Okay. Okay, it did get extracted. Let's see if it goes where it's supposed to go. Yes, it did end up in the input hatch of the blast furnace. That's exactly what we want here. So the other thing we need to get this going is some magnesium, which we do get back, by the way, so we only need a little bit to get started. I'm hoping we do have some magnesium dust. Ah, we do. Nice. We just need one stack. So once this magnesium enters the blast furnace, it should start itself. We may have to give it the old whack with the mallet. Yeah, there we go. Okay, 40 seconds. We should get our hot titanium end up in this drawer here. 39, 40, and we got hot titanium. Okay, yeah, the drawer is locked, which is why it isn't doing anything. But the magnesium chloride, or what is it called? Yeah, magnesium chloride dust gets mixed with sodium, which is brought in from this drawer, into the second chemical reactor. That should put some of the chlorine back in this tank to be recycled into this chemical reactor, and the magnesium should end up back in the input bus. I think it did. Yeah, we put a full stack in, it used 2, and we keep repeating this cycle so long as we give this rutile and sodium is basically the 2 inputs for this. Oh, I guess we do the carbon and chlorine. Yeah, we only get some of these inputs back, but it is worth recycling this stuff. Well, we are going to turn this off for now since we don't have fuel set up. Oh, hello zombie. Let's at least make sure we lock the hot titanium in this drawer. And I didn't actually check, can we vacuum freeze this with our current setup? Has to be at least HV, I think. And we are running this HV, okay, so we should be able to throw this through the vacuum freezer. It's going. Okay, 7 seconds per ingot, that's not too bad. Oh yeah, I have to empty this as well. Aha, our first titanium ingots. But we don't get the quest because we don't have any of these. Oh man, okay, well, we save the quest for next episode. We got titanium, and we have a system to process it. But I think we're going to wrap things up here. I will keep an eye on this thing. Oh, this is on, this is a good sign. Let's see where we're at in the pipes by now. Oh yeah, we're even further down than we were before. Oh boy. Well, that is going to do us for today. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all soon for some more Gregtech New Horizons.